How y'all doing today? This is the Omegason back at you with another video. This is a dream matchup once again. Alright, today's dream matchup is Roy Jones Jr. versus Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Alright. What do both men have in common? I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons of both fighters. I'm gonna tell you how I would probably basically go at the press conference. I'm not going to say all assets for these two because these is two old school fighters. But one just older than the other, but other than that, they both seem to be a little old school. Okay. Alright, let's tell the pros and cons of Roy Jones Jr. Alias is Superman Roy Jones. RJ. Anybody that really know Roy Jones would know these aliases. Okay. What is Roy Jones' pros? Pros is that he got speed and power. And some of the greatest reflexes ever known in boxing. His style is very, very intimidating, especially in his prime, most definitely. And because this man can knock you out with a body shot or a head shot. It's whatever works for him, he can knock you out. Or he can hurt you real bad. His punches was blinding. You couldn't really see him. And not only that, when you look at Roy Jones, he was just intimidating all the way around. This man looked like he was on steroids. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people sat back and said that he did have something about steroids in his fight against Richard Hall. I don't really believe it. People quick to throw steroids on you if you look anything that's good in the mirror. If you got a nice body, people will say that you are on steroids. Even some people have said that I look like I'm on steroids. Because don't let this sweater fool you. This is a pretty big sweater. But anyways, so he hit hard and his punches is very blinding. Okay, let's talk about the cons. His cons is that Roy Jones can be a little too cocky. Okay. And also, he do have a couple of knockouts, defeats on his record. He has been knocked out, I would say about 3 times, or 4. Probably 4 times already. Excuse me. He's been knocked out 4 times. Now, don't get me wrong. He changed up, which I did not agree with. He should have stayed with the old RJ style because it was already intimidating. It's a lot of fighters he beat before he actually fought them, just like Mike Tyson. Because Roy Jones, plenty have said that he is fast, he's powerful, he hit hard, all that. I mean, it's a lot of punches you sit back and throw at this man, you're going to miss. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons of Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Okay, Tommy. Oh my God. This man... The pros of this man is basically he has speed, he has long arms, he has a 6-foot frame or 6'1" frame, and to top it off, out of all things, he hit hard. He got one of the meanest, most dangerous right hands in the history of boxing. If anybody have looked into the history and fights of Tommy the Hitman Hearns besides Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler, you will know that this man hits hard. He knocked out Roberto Duran cold in the 2nd round. And to top it off, he predicted that fight also. He said that he would knock out Roberto Duran in the 2nd round. And he did. It was a tap to the midsection. And out of nowhere come that mean right hand. And you can see Roberto Duran head snap. His head snapped to the side. He snapped Roberto Duran shit all up in that fight. And knocked them out cold. I mean cold. That right hand snapped this shit up pretty bad. Anyway. By all means, no disrespect to the hands of stone now. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying that what Tommy the Hitman Hearns did to him. Anywho's, the cons. Okay, the cons is that Tommy basically came up short against 2 of the greatest fighters of his era, and that was Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin marvelous haggler. He came up short against two of those fighters. One knocked him out and the other one knocked him out. It just took him a little bit longer to get knocked out by Ray Leonard, because that was Tommy at his best. He was up in weight when he fought Hagler, but it's still no excuse. He got laid out pretty quick with Hagler. But those are the cons of Hearns. But anyways, the press conference will go pretty good. Okay, we both got two of the dangerous right hands in the game. But the most dangerous right hand, I got to give it to Hearns. Okay, I would say he get a 5 in this situation, because his right hand actually will knock you out cold. You won't wake up from his right hand until this week, into Monday, because every fight seems to go on a Saturday or Friday night. You won't wake up to Monday, because that man will hit you so hard, you'll lose some brain cells off that punch. Anyways, now Roy Jones, I would say that he will be ready for the fight. Both men will be in incredible shape. Oh no, I have never seen Tommy come to a fight looking flabby. Never. I have never seen Roy Jones come to a fight looking flabby. And yes, okay, you may sit back and say, Omegason, which Roy Jones is we talking about? I'm talking about prime Superman Roy Jones. I'm talking about RJ himself. I'm talking about 2000 on back. I'm talking about that Roy Jones. He's dangerous, he's powerful, he's quick, and he's in incredible shape. I'm talking about that Roy Jones. Had been knocked out yet? None of that. I'm talking about if Roy Jones fought Hearns at his best. Like, better yet, let's go up some weight classes for Hearns, because he got titles in multiple weight classes and he got that record in history. And let's talk about that time in the Hitman Hearns. And he fight Roy at light heavyweight. And yes, he sat back and said in one of his interviews, it's kind of rare, he sat back and said he would want to fight Roy Jones if you would go back and do the research for yourself. And I feel like that he would be a difficult fight for Roy, because Hearns would be searching for that knockout the entire fight. I believe this fight would probably go the whole 12. But, sad to say, I see a knockout in this fight. I just believe it in my heart that it will be a knockout between these two fighters, because they both was knockout kings in their time. And goddamn, and they is once two of the most feared boxers in the ring. They at that time they was very feared. The two little guys, of course, because I'm gonna do a video on the heavyweights. Anyways, I actually believe that it would be a great fight. But I gotta be honest with you. That's gonna kick it off, and what'll happen in the ring? Okay, Roy Jones will be doing his normal thing. But he'll be mostly trying to get away from Hearns. He'll be trying to work his jab, because Hearns will work his sharp jab, alright? That's one thing that Roy have to watch out for. Hearns also had one of the most dangerous jabs in the game, because you would sit back and look at the fight between him and Sugar Ray Leonard. He was jabbing the shit out of Leonard. He was catching him every time. That jab was just like a laser. It would catch you. Gow, gow, gow. And then all of a sudden, right behind that jab, here come the right hand. It was unbelievable. And he caught Leonard with that right hand a couple of times. Their second fight proved that Hearns still can hurt Leonard. You know, and most people sat back and said they don't know who won the second fight. I honestly believe Tommy won that second fight. But anyways, back to the fight between him and Roy. Okay, Roy will be trying to trick him. But every single time he come in with that jab, I believe Roy probably tie him up, move off, tie him up. He'll be probably trying to aggravate Tommy. And honestly, if Roy sit back and do this the entire fight, it'd probably be a short night. I don't know. Roy probably catch him slipping. But then again, we talking about Tommy the Hitman Hearns. And plus, Roy is not Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard had that explosion in him any round. Any round. That's what made him so special. But Roy Jones, well, down the stretch, yes, he do got a lot of fights down the stretch. So he got the stamina and power for it. It's just that I believe it will be a unanimous decision. Unless one of the guys hurt one of the other. Another tongue twist, I guess. But other than that, who wins this fight? I gotta be honest with you. I honestly think that Roy Jones will win this fight. I hate to say it, but he will win it based off points. And the fact is that Tommy did have a weak sort of chin. Man, if he get hit real hard on that chin, he can get caught pretty good by Roy. And Roy had more blinding punches than Ray Leonard and Hagler. It's like he was a mixture of Hagler and Leonard. He had Leonard's speed and he had Hagler's power. Mix that together, I see Tommy going. That's just how it is. I believe he will hurt Tommy. I don't believe he'll knock him out, but I do believe he will hurt him. But I do see Roy winning this fight. Now, some people may think different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings or whatever. If you think different, send it in the comments. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Thank you so much for watching. This still Omegason. Thank y'all so much for watching, man. God bless. Put God first.